Good Tuesday, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Conversations Daily News. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. We, of course, have your news headlines coming up today. We have the Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich, and today, in an entertainment spotlight, you're being part of my conversation with recording artist Chelsey James. Enjoy today's broadcast. For Conversations Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with your Tuesday headlines. In Mississippi news, 1,616 new COVID-19 cases reported, with 13 additional deaths. The Mississippi State Department of Health reported 1,615 new COVID-19 cases and 13 additional deaths on Monday. There have now been in Mississippi 223,677 COVID-19 cases and 4,884 coronavirus-related deaths in the state since March. On Monday, Governor Tate Reeves of Mississippi said the process of administering the COVID-19 vaccine is going slower than hoped, but the focus now is getting it to Mississippi's most vulnerable. The most important task is getting vaccines to the public, he said. Reeves said beginning next week, the vaccine will be available for Mississippi residents who are 75 and older who do not live in a nursing home. The following week, Mississippians over 65 will have access. It is underway, it is ramping up, and we just need to step on the gas, Reeves said. Part of the reason for the holdup is the CDC decision to focus on who is getting the vaccine and who is getting it first. We need to get it out there, he said. In more national news, Georgia election officials reject Trump call to find more votes. President Donald Trump pressured Georgia's Republican Secretary of State to find enough votes to overturn Joe Biden's win in the state's presidential election, repeatedly citing disproven claims of fraud and raising the prospect of a criminal offense if officials did not change the vote count, according to a recording of the conversation. The phone call with the Georgia Secretary of State on Saturday was the latest step in an unprecedented effort by a sitting president to press a state official to reverse the outcome of a free and fair election that he lost. The Republican president, who was refused to accept his loss to Democratic presidential-elect Biden, repeatedly argued that the Secretary of State could change the certified results. In an interview on Monday, the Secretary of State told the Associated Press that he is confident in Georgia's general election outcome, despite an electoral college challenge supported by some Republicans in Congress. If they support a challenge of the electors of Georgia, they're wrong, dead wrong. Members of Congress will have to make a decision about the other states, he added. But in Georgia, we did get it right. I'm not happy with the result as a Republican, but it is the right result based on the numbers that we saw cast. Asked if he felt as if the president was pressuring him to do something illegal, the Secretary of State said, "I think he was looking for any kind of advantage he could get, and I just don't see how he's going to get it." In a related story, many more in GOP rejecting Trump's bid to undo his defeat. With mounting desperation, President Donald Trump called on Republican lawmakers on Monday to reverse his election loss to Joe Biden when Congress convenes for a joint session this week to confirm the Electoral College vote. Trump's unprecedented attempt to overcome the presidential election is splitting the Republican Party. Some GOP lawmakers backing Trump are rushing ahead, despite an outpouring of condemnation from current and former party officials warning the effort is undermining Americans' faith in democracy. All 10 living former defense secretaries wrote in an op-ed article that the time for questioning the results has passed. It is unclear the extent to which GOP leaders in Congress will be able to control Wednesday's joint session, which could drag into the night, though the challenges to the election are all but certain to fail. Trump himself is whipping up crowds for a Wednesday rally near the White House. Biden, speaking at a drive-in rally in Atlanta on Monday, said Trump spends more time whining and complaining than he does working on solving the coronavirus pandemic. He added dismissively, "I don't know why he still wants the job. He doesn't want to do the work." In business news, stocks fall as trading starts for a year of great expectations. U.S. stocks pulled back from their recent record highs on Monday as big swings returned to Wall Street at the onset of a year where the dominant expectation is for a powerful economic rebound to sweep the world. The S&P 500, which ended 2020 at an all-time high, slid 1.5% after earlier dropping as much as 2.5%. It was the benchmark index's biggest decline since late October. And finally, in entertainment news, Tanya Roberts, Bond girl and 70s show star, hospitalized. Tanya Roberts, who captivated James Bond in A View to a Kill and later played Midge in the sitcom That 70s Show, has been hospitalized after falling in her home. The actor had mistakenly been reported dead by her publicist earlier on Monday. Roberts' publicist later told the Associated Press Monday afternoon that Roberts, 65, was still alive as of 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, but was in poor condition. Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. It's now time for the Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Mary Ellen with your Truth of the Day. Have a life outside of work. Always consider your personal needs because there are no less important than your work obligations. Make sure you have a life outside of work. Empower yourself to reintroduce play and relaxation into your life. You do not need to feel you are shirking your duties for more vital obligations, because when you do not take care of you, you cannot take care of anything, including your work. Allow yourself plenty of time to unwind between work duties. Introduce balance into your life by scaling back on your duties and taking play breaks. This will help you to accomplish more. Your concept of success must not be associated with working until you drop or putting your labors before anything else. Today, make time to put aside obligations and take care of you. And remember, enjoy your day.
As I mentioned today in Entertainment Spotlight, you being part of my conversation with recording artist Chelsey James. Enjoy right here on Conversations Daily News. For Conversations Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with the Entertainment Spotlight. Recording artist Chelsey James joined me recently on Conversations Live, the radio show, to talk about her new single, Hands on the Bible. Here's a bit of our conversation. So I want to go back then, too, because it's definitely a gift to be able to have people feel something when they listen to music. Have you always known that music was that gift you had?
I kind of have a funny and different and kind of unique story of like my life in music, because I actually got started a lot later in life than I feel like most people do. It was kind of a random discovery. I didn't know that I had this in me until maybe my sophomore year in college, I think it was, and I was just singing to the radio. We were getting ready to go somewhere, some friends of mine. We were at one of my friends' apartments. I was singing to the radio, and they were like, oh, my gosh, like, sing some more. And I'm like, okay. And long story short, they forced me to go to karaoke bars around town and sing, and I eventually, got up the courage to join a cover band. And I remember my first show ever. I was so terrified when I saw, I was getting ready to go up on stage, and I saw people out sitting in the venue, and I was so terrified. I didn't even think I could physically walk up on that stage, but I told myself, okay, you have to get through this show, and then you never have to do this again. And I got up on stage thinking, okay, just get through this, and then I never am going to do this again. And the first song, I'm telling you, it's hard to explain, but something just clicked, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't know. It was the strangest thing.
Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. We thank you all for tuning in to this edition of Conversations Daily News. We'll be back with you guys on tomorrow with more news, Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich, and of course your Entertainment Spotlight. Until then, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Daily News today. Let's make it a great one.